like this. But Fatiyn and I, we're friends. Fatiyn made a commitment to me. He knew my brother, Councilman James E. Davis, 7 years ago. When he met me, he said, Jeff, anything that I can do, I'm going to keep the airwaves open to you so that you can continue the legacy and continue the message. And he made a commitment, and now we're in 2010. I said, Fatiyn, I'm doing something to One Nation in Washington, D.C. Plug it to, I said that, brother. Didn't I say it last night?
Yes.
I said, Fatiyn, you got to plug that tomorrow on the radio because we're going to D.C. October 2nd. You got to plug it. We got buses. We got to fill those buses. He said, done. I can do that. That's easy. That's done. Like this. I said, give me the information. I'll get it out there. Fatiyn Muhammed, would you say some words? And we're happy to have you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Geoffrey. First of all, I just want to say first thank you, Brother Geoffrey, for those words. And I want to thank everyone for coming out this afternoon, taking time out of your schedule to come out here to support this cause. I'm not one who prepares speeches, and those who know me, that Brother Lacey Davis, he's smiling right there because he knows I'm behind the scenes. I'm the brother who works behind the scenes to push out the brothers that I work for an open line on KISS FM, and that's Brother Bob Slade, James Mtume, the third ensign, of course, Attorney Bob Pickett, and of course I do work for Reverend Sharpton. And there's numerous places I can start, but I first must start with family. You mentioned the word friend, and I understand, you know, that sometimes we use that word loosely, but your family has been like family to me. It's been family to me. It's not about just friendship. It's about relationships. It's about friendship. And before your brother became a councilman, and I have to continue to smile because I'll tell you, I'll get emotional up here, and the tears will flow because there's so many touching moments. But this brother here, you know, and I look up there because I work for a company that allows us to talk the truth out there. But at the same time, I have a sister station that is dedicated to young folks. And sometimes some of the words that they use on the airwaves is, I feel, and a lot of people feel, may not be appropriate for young people. And this brother here, activist, Brother James Davis, before he became a New York City councilman, and he also was a New York City policeman. We forget these things that this brother put out there. This brother stood for something. He marched against crack houses. He marched against inappropriate language on the radio. He marched against my sister station, Hot 97. I put him on KISS FM, and the reason why I say I put him on, and I'm not the one to prop myself up, but I put him on when it was not popular, and he said that to me in City Hall because my job was threatened when I put him on the air. They didn't want him on the air. Here's somebody who's protesting, and then he's speaking on the air against one of our sister stations. But at the end of the day, I believed in what the brother said. And sometimes we have to stand for a cause. And to fast forward today, when I picked up the phone and called Geoffrey and gave him a call and told him some of the things, and I'll bring you up to speed on that, brother didn't hesitate. He didn't hesitate. He said, brother, what you need? Okay, here's some suggestions, and let's go out here and do it. My wife back in 1998. It was because it was transition of the year. We talking about 1988. I'm sorry, 98, 88. And I didn't know anything about sickle cell anemia. Didn't know nothing about it. The only thing I knew about young folks going in the hospital was when Labor Day came and Jerry Lewis had that telethon on. I didn't know that there were so many individuals, especially in our community, that suffered with different illnesses, and especially sickle cell anemia. And the first time that my wife went into sickle cell crisis, which, if those who don't know, and if you get a chance to look at the screen, it talks a little bit about sickle cell anemia. And the screen, you just got to hit that computer. Their red blood cells, those that suffer with the disease, their red blood cells are not oval shaped, they're sickle shaped. And at times, those red blood cells flowing through the blood, they get clumped together. And that causes pain because it restricts oxygen to certain organs. I'm not here to give you a whole lesson on sickle cell, but what I had to do is I had to learn about sickle cell anemia. So when my wife went into crisis, she explained what needs to be done. The second problem I ran into is not only her dealing with the disease, but dealing with the obstacles when she went into the hospital. This should be cut and dry. We've been dealing with sickle cell for how many years out here? Now they have a test that when newborns are born across the country, they do a blood test that tells you if you have the trait, or if you have the disease, or if you don't have it don't have anything. And unfortunately, there was politics within that. And majority of those people that are affected by sickle cell are people of color. And the things that they would go through in the sense of getting their pain medication on time, to be labeled as quote unquote junkies. How can you be in excruciating pain, balled up like a baby, and you go out there and advocate for yourself when you go into hospital? If you go in the hospital and you're taking pain, strong narcotics at home, strong narcotics, I'm talking about medicine like Tylenol number 3, Tylenol number 4, Percocet, OxyContin. These are I don't want to hear what they say that people are selling these things on the street. That's a whole nother issue. I'm talking about those individuals that need this. There are people out there that have cancer and have other illnesses that when they go in the hospital and they come in and say, listen, I have cystic fibrosis, I have Cooley's anemia, I have leukemia, they are treated for their symptoms of their illness. But when it came up to sickle cell anemia, let me give you a pain pill that's a little bit inferior. Wait a minute. Why does she have to wait to get this pain medication in this time? The doctor wrote the orders for this. Oh, they just came in for another fix. So those are the things that when I see my wife go through, I had to stand up for her. But Brother Geoffrey and everybody here, it wasn't just my wife, brother. Mm-hmm. It was a whole pediatric ward that I had to advocate for, brother. Mm-hmm. And then when those individuals graduated from the pediatric hematology, since this falls under a blood disease and hematology study, oncology, hematology, they go into what is called adult hematology. Well, a lot of hospitals said, you know what? You're going to go into internal medicine, and then that doctor will consult with hematology if they don't know how to treat this. So they went, and they still go through so many obstacles today. My wife is supposed to be here today. She went into sickle cell crisis last Sunday. Called the doctor. Our doctor don't even deal with the emergency room. He calls a meeting, and we go straight in like that. They had no beds at Long Island College Hospital last Sunday. My wife had to stay at home and suffer in pain because she refused to go to the emergency room. She refused to go to the emergency room and be given some pain pill and then sit up. They got a certain little section where you sit up.